Kim Antonie Lode Clijsters. Born June 8, 1983, is a retired Belgian professional tennis player. Clijsters is a former world number 1 in both singles and doubles. Clijsters won 41 WTA singles titles and 11 WTA doubles titles. She won 4 Grand Slam singles titles, 3 at the US Open, in 2005, 2009, and 2010 and 1 at the Australian Open in 2011. She was also runner-up in 4 Grand Slam singles tournaments and won the WTA Tour Championships singles title in 2002, 2003, and 2010. In doubles, she won the French Open and Wimbledon titles in 2003. She was also runner-up in 2 Grand Slam doubles tournaments, 1 WTA Championships doubles tournament, as 1 Grand Slam mixed doubles tournament. In 2001, Clijsters was part of the Belgium Fed Cup winning team. Clijsters announced her retirement with immediate effect on May 6, 2007, but almost 2 years later, on March 26, 2009, she publicly declared her intent to return to the WTA Tour for the 2009 summer hard-court season. In only her third tournament back, she won her second US Open title, becoming the first unseeded player and wildcard to win the tournament, the first unranked player to win a Grand Slam and the first mother to win a major since Evonne Goolagong in 1980. In June 2011, Time magazine named her one of the 30 legends of women's tennis, past, present and future. According to Forbes in August 2011, she became the 5th highest paid female athlete over the previous year. On May 20, 2012, Clijsters, who had previously announced that 2012 would be her last season, revealed that she would retire after the US Open. On August 29, 2012, Clijsters played her last singles match of her career at the 2012 US Open where she lost in the second round to Laura Robson. Playing style. Ground strokes and net play, Clijsters has a powerful physique that melds naturally with a strong baseline game. The Belgian is equipped with an array of powerful and deep forehand and backhand shots. Her forehand, although at times erratic, is her main weapon. She is easily able to dictate play with her forehand and she is capable of hitting winners from any position on the court. Clijsters also has a strong and consistent two-handed backhand, which is arguably one of the best in the women's game, particularly her cross-court backhand, which she hits with great accuracy and pace. An accomplished doubles player, Clijsters has an adept net game. She often mixes up her aggressive style play with drop shots and backhand slices to draw her opponents into the net, where many players are uncomfortable. She also has a very solid overhead and is noted for her quick transition from the baseline to the net to finish points. Serve. Clijsters' first serve is not overwhelmingly powerful, but is placed well and earns her free points. When timed correctly, her serve can be considered a major weapon. Clijsters also poses a strong second serve that is not easily attackable. However, she sometimes lacks confidence on serve and loses concentration and timing, resulting in a high number of double faults in some matches. Defense and movement. Clijsters is also widely recognized for her all-court defense, characterized by her speed and athleticism, and has the capacity to wear her opponents down. Clijsters is one of few players on the WTA Tour who can slide a euro, also known as straddling a euro, on all surfaces. Clijsters possesses the perfect balance of athleticism, her powerful build and strength from her father Leo, a successful football player in Belgium, and flexibility from her mother Eels, a national gymnast. Maria Sharapova, interviewed after losing to Clijsters in the 2005 Nasdaq 100 Open, said, "You just have to expect that she's going to get every ball back." Personal life. Clijsters was born on June 8, 1983, in Bilsen, Limburg, in the Flemish region of Belgium. She is the daughter of Lode Clijsters, a former international footballer, and Eels van der Kaltsbeek, a former national gymnastics champion. Lode Clijsters died of lung cancer on January 4, 2009. Clijsters says that she inherited footballer's legs from her father and a gymnast's flexibility from her mother. Kim's younger sister finished 2002 as the ITF World Junior Doubles Champion and retired in 2004 after back injuries. In December 2003, Clijsters announced her engagement to Australian Leighton Hewitt, but their relationship ended in October 2004. Clijsters is still affectionately nicknamed Aussie Kim by Australians. In October 2006, Clijsters announced her engagement to American basketball player Brian Lynch, who is based in Clijsters' hometown of Bree. In an interview with Sport Weekend, Clijsters said that she was retiring to start a family. Clijsters and Lynch married privately on July 13, 2007, at 6 a.m. at the Bree City Hall. She was married by the mayor, with sister Rick, Lynch's brother Pat Lynch, and both sets of parents present. Clijsters gave birth to daughter, Jada L., on February 27, 2008, at 1:35 p.m. at the Vesalius Hospital in Tongeren, Belgium. On February 25, 2013, Clijsters announced via Twitter that she is pregnant with a second child. On September 18, 2013, Clijsters gave birth to a son, Jack Leon Lynch. Tennis career, junior career. Clijsters had won the Belgian Junior Championship by the age of 11 and joined an academy in Antwerp 2 years later. It was there she met Karl Maes, her coach for the first and last stages of her professional career. Clijsters was an accomplished junior player. In singles, she finished as runner-up in the 1998 Wimbledon junior event, finishing 11th in the year-end singles ranking. In the same year in doubles, Clijsters won the French Open title with Jelena Dokia, defeating Elena Dementieva and Nadia Petrova in the final, as well as the US Open with Eva Dyberg, defeating former partner Dokic in the final. Clijsters ended the season as number 4 in the International Tennis Federation Junior Doubles World Ranking. 1999 In 1999, Clijsters made her breakthrough professionally. At her first WTA tournament in Antwerp, she qualified and lost to the eventual finalist Sarah Pitkowski-Malka in the quarter-final, after failing to convert a match point. She also reached a doubles quarter-finals of the same event with India's Naira Parmavadi-Nathan, defeating Vanessa Menga and Mio Osaki 7-5, 6-4. Playing through the qualifying rounds at Roehampton, she made it to the main draw of Wimbledon. Clijsters won 6 matches in a row, while only losing 25 games. She defeated number 10 Amanda Kueser en route to the 4th round, during which Clijsters lost to her childhood idol, Steffi Graf, in straight sets, in difficult rainy circumstances. Later that summer, Clijsters reached the 3rd round of the US Open, losing to eventual champion Serena Williams after serving for the match. In the autumn, Clijsters won her first Women's Tennis Association singles title in Luxembourg. She followed up with her first WTA doubles title in Bratislava, partnering Laurence Courtois. At the end of the year, she was granted the WTA Most Impressive Newcomer Award, the only Belgian player to have received this trophy. 2000 Euro 2002, Clijsters climbed up the rankings over the next couple of years. In 2001, she reached her first Tier I final at the tournament in Indian Wells, California, losing to Serena Williams in a match overshadowed by controversy. Clijsters also reached her first Grand Slam final at the French Open, where she lost to Jennifer Capriati, 10-12, in the 3rd set. This 2-hour, 21-minute match featured the longest 3rd set in the French Open women's final. Clijsters was 4 times within 2 points of winning, before Capriati prevailed. Her next important breakthrough came at the end of 2002, when she won the year-end Home Depot Championships in Los Angeles, defeating top-ranked Serena Williams in the final. This was only the 5th defeat of the year for Williams and snapped her 18-match winning streak. On her way to the final, Clijsters defeated 4th-ranked Justine Henin and 2nd-ranked Venus Williams, becoming just the 4th player to beat both of the Williams sisters in the same event. She also equaled the event's record for the fewest games dropped. 2003, ascent to number 1, Clijsters started her season at the Adidas International, where she won her first tournament of the year, defeating Lindsay Davenport in straight sets in the final. Clijsters reached a final after defeating Patty Schneider, Chanda Rubin and Justine Henin. At the Australian Open, Clijsters lost in the semi-final to Serena Williams 4-6, 6-3, 7-5, after leading 5-1 in the final set and holding 2 match points. On the way to the semis, Clijsters lost just 15 games, beating Samantha Reeves and completing a double bagel against Petra Mangula. She then continued by winning in straight sets against Tatiana Pauchk, Amanda Kueza, and Anastasia Miskina. At the Pacific Life Open in Indian Wells, California, she defeated Lindsay Davenport in the final. Clijsters reached the final of the WTA German Open, after defeating Jennifer Capriati 6-4 in the final set. In the final, she played Justine Henin and squandered 3 match points to lose the final set, 5-7. To compound the day, Clijsters also lost the doubles final 4-6 in the final set. Clijsters' '1 registered trademark third title of the year came at the Telecom Italia Masters in Rome, where she defeated Alma copyright Lai Mauresmo in the final. Clijsters had defeated Miskina and doubles partner Ai Sugiyama to make the final. At the French Open, Clijsters reached a final for the second time in 3 years, after defeating Nadia Petrova. In the final, Clijsters lost to Henin 0-6, 4-6, and again at the US Open, 5-7, 1-6. She also lost in the semi-final at Wimbledon to Venus Williams, after leading by a set and a break. On August 11, 2003, Clijsters attained the world #1 ranking, holding the spot for 12 non-consecutive weeks during the remainder of the year, and was the first player to be top-ranked by the WTA without first winning a Grand Slam singles title. On August 18, 2003, Clijsters also attained the world #1 ranking in doubles, joining a very select group of only 4 players: Martina Navratilova, Arantxa Nchez Vicario, Martina Hingis, and Lindsay Davenport, having reached the world #1 ranking in singles and doubles simultaneously. By 2010, only Serena Williams had managed to join this group. The world #1 ranking was again at stake in October during the final of the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix in Filderstadt, Germany. Clijsters rallied from a set down to beat Henin. The match marked only the 8th time that the top 2 players battled for the top ranking. Even though Clijsters won that match, she finished the year ranked world #2, just behind Henin. 2004, Clijsters started 2004 by playing in the Hopman Cup. During the tie against Australia, Clijsters injured her ankle against Alicia Molik. Clijsters was on crutches for a few days and feared she might need surgery. Clijsters pulled out of the Adidas International due to the injury. Clijsters did recover in time to reach her 4th career Grand Slam final at the Australian Open, where she lost once more to Henin. After defeating Marlene Wenger Currency-Rtner, Maria Elena Cameron, Dinara Safina, Silvia Farina Elia, Anastasia Miskina, and Patty Schneider to reach the final. Clijsters then won 2 consecutive titles in Paris and Antwerp. In Paris, Clijsters defeated local favourite Mary Pierce in the final. To reach the final, Clijsters defeated Mara Nchez Lorenzo, Farina Elia, and Safina. While defending her Tier I title at the Pacific Life Open, Clijsters injured her wrist during her win against Angelika Ruish in her first match. Clijsters withdrew before her second match with the injury described as a bruised bone. Clijsters withdrew from the event in Miami the next week. Clijsters then appeared 6 weeks later in her hometown of Bree to play in a Fed Cup tie against Croatia, winning both of her rubbers. Clijsters returned to the tour in Berlin and needed 3 sets to see Marta Marrero off. Clijsters then pulled out of her second match and then was told to rest for 5 weeks, causing her to miss the French Open. Clijsters then had surgery to remove a cyst, causing her to miss 3 months of the tour, including Wimbledon and the US Open. Clijsters also missed the Olympics, but she had already decided not to play the tournament after a dispute about clothing sponsors. Clijsters returned to the tour at the Gaz de France Stars. She made the semi-finals, defeating Evita Beniova and Magdalena Malivan, before pulling out in the second set against Elena Bovina. Clijsters had aggravated the injury, and although she did not need surgery, she was out for the rest of the season. She played down fears that the injury might force her retirement from tennis. 2005, first Grand Slam title, Clijsters missed the Australian Open due to injury. In February, after 4 months out, Clijsters returned to the tour by participating in the Proximus Diamond Games in Antwerp. Her first match back was against Jelena Kostania, which she won in straight sets, before losing to Venus Williams in the quarter-finals. Clijsters completed her comeback in March and April, when she won, as an unseeded player, 17 matches in a row to claim 2 Tier I titles and regain a top 20 ranking. At the Pacific Life Open in Indian Wells, California, Clijsters was ranked world number 133. The Belgian began by beating Nicole Pratt, Shinobu Asago, Anna Shakhvtadze, and Evgenia Lenetskaya, all without dropping a set. In the semi-finals, Clijsters defeated world number 5 Elena Dementieva in straight sets and world number 1 Lindsay Davenport in the final in 3 sets. The week after that win, Clijsters defeated 4 top 6 players in straight sets to win the Nasdaq 100 Open. To win the title, Clijsters defeated Sandra Kluizel, Amy Frazier, Nathalie Deci, Anastasia Miskina, Elena Dementieva, Arma Copyright Lime Moresmo, and Maria Sharapova, going the whole tournament without dropping a set. Turning her attention to clay, Clijsters' Euro unregistered trademark winning streak continued at the J&S Cup. Clijsters defeated Tatiana Paribinis, Maria Kirilenko, and Elena Bovina. Against Bovina, Clijsters' Euro unregistered trademark picked up a minor shoulder injury. Clijsters' Euro unregistered trademark 17-match winning streak was finally ended by Svetlana Kstsova. Playing next at the WTA German Open, Clijsters defeated Juliana Filak and Dinara Safina in straight sets before hurting her right knee and retiring against Patty Schneider. Clijsters recovered in time to play in the French Open. Playing in the French Open for the first time in 2 years, Clijsters defeated Milantu, Servanova, and Daniela Hantuchova to advance to the 4th round, where she lost to Davenport 1 Euro 6, 7 Euro 5, 6 Euro 3 after leading 3 Euro 1 in the second set. Clijsters got off to the best possible start for her grass court season at the Hastings Direct International Championships by winning the tournament. Clijsters defeated Jelena Jankovic, Conquita Martinez, Mashona Washington, Kstsova and Vera Dushevina to claim her 3rd title of the year. At Wimbledon, Clijsters defeated Katie O'Brien, Marissa Irvine, and Roberta Vinci, before facing Davenport in the round of 16 for the 2nd Grand Slam in a row. The result was the same as the French Open, with the American winning. After Wimbledon, Clijsters went on an amazing run of form, where she lost just once between July and October. Clijsters' Euro unregistered trademark run began at the Bank of the West Classic against Sugiyama, and she defeated Daniela Hantuchova, Annalena Graf-Paragrafenfeld, and Venus Williams to win her 4th title of the year. Clijsters' Euro unregistered trademark streak continued in San Diego, as she defeated Marta Domakoska and Jankovic, before being beaten for the only time in this run by Xi Peng. After the defeat by Peng, Clijsters continued the run. She won 22 matches in a row, collecting 4 straight titles along the way, including her maiden Grand Slam title. The 22-match streak started against Carolina Angstrom-Prem, with victories over Safina, Nadia Petrova, and Francesca Iavone. Clijsters collected her 5th title of the year. The streak continued in Toronto as Clijsters beat Virginie Razzano, Ana Ivanovic, Flavia Pennetta, Anastasia Miskina and Justine Henin Harden to win the Rogers Cup. After winning 3 of her 4 U.S. Summer Hardcourt tournaments, Clijsters won the U.S. Open Series, which links all the U.S. Summer Hardcourts together and doubles the winner's prize money at the U.S. Open, giving Clijsters a chance to double the $1.1 a million U.S. Open winner's prize to $2.2 a million. Clijsters won her first Grand Slam singles title at the U.S. Open, after having reached 4 Grand Slam finals previously. Clijsters started by defeating Martina Marwan-Cortalaire, Fabiola Zuluaga, Ai Sugiyama and Mara Avento-Kabki in straight sets to reach the quarter-finals. There, Clijsters defeated 10th-seeded Venus Williams in the quarter-finals 4 Euro 6, 7 Euro 5, 6 Euro 1, winning 11 of the last 13 games after being down 6-4, 4-2. Clijsters squandered 5 match points in the second set of her semi against Sharapova but eventually won 6-2, 6-7, 4, 6-3. In her fifth attempt, Clijsters won her first Grand Slam final, defeating Mary Pierce in straight sets. By winning the U.S. Open Series, Clijsters doubled her $1.1 million in prize money she received for winning the U.S. Open, to $2.2 million. The paycheck was the largest payday in women's sports history. On September 15, a week after her U.S. Open victory, it was announced that Clijsters and her coach, Mark Diaz, had parted company, which was due in part to her paying him only $9,000 of her $2,200,000 Open winnings. Clijsters' unregistered trademark hot streak continued as she extended her streak to 21 wins, even without a coach at the Fortis Championships. Clijsters beat Klara Koukalova, Evonne, Goolagong and Lena Groeneveld all without dropping a set to win her 8th title of the year. The title was Clijsters' unregistered trademark 4th consecutive title. At the Porsche Grand Prix, Clijsters defeated Angstrom for her 22nd consecutive match win before Dementieva ended the streak. Clijsters then won her 9th and final tournament of the year at the Gaz de France Stars, defeating Evonne in the final, to go the whole tournament without dropping a set. Clijsters defeated Ekaterina Bychkova, Angstrom, Julia Schroff and Safina to make the final. At the year-ending Sony Ericsson Championships, Clijsters was eliminated in the group stage. Clijsters lost her first match, a rematch of the US Open final, to Pierce 6-1, 4-6, 7-6 and her second match to Mauresmo 6-3, 7-6. This left the Belgian needing to win and hope that the results in the other matches went her way. Although results did not go her way and Clijsters was eliminated with one match still to play, she finished her season by defeating Dementieva in straight sets. Clijsters ended the year ranked world number 2. 2006. Clijsters started the year by withdrawing from her semi-final match at the WTA tournament in Sydney, citing a left hip muscle strain. At the Australian Open, Clijsters defeated former champion Martina Hingis in the quarter-finals, 6-3, 2-6, 6-4, before retiring from her semi-final match with AMA copyright Lai Mauresmo. Despite the loss, the ranking points she accumulated were enough to regain the world number 1 ranking, a position she last held on November 9, 2003. She was the first tennis player, male or female, to rise from outside the top 100 to world number 1 in less than a year. Clijsters' loss to Mauresmo in the Australian Open semi-final was due to an ankle injury. Although she had been expected to miss at least 8 weeks to recover, Clijsters returned 2 weeks later at the Proximus Diamond Games in Antwerp. She lost the final of that tournament to Mauresmo in 3 sets. Clijsters won her first title of the year at a clay court event in Warsaw, defeating Svetlana Kstsova in the final. At the French Open in May, Clijsters reached the semi-finals without losing a set, defeating Martina Hingis in the quarter-finals, 7-6, 6-1. However, she lost to Justine Henin in the semi-final, 3-6, 2-6, on her 23rd birthday. She was seeded second going into Wimbledon, but was again eliminated in the semi-final by Henin, also in straight sets, 4-6, 6-7, 4. Clijsters collected her second title of the year as the top seed in Stanford, defeating Patty Schneider in the final. Clijsters then reached the final in San Diego, falling to second-seeded Maria Sharapova in straight sets. This was her first loss to Sharapova in 5 career meetings. On August 16, after receiving a first-round bye at the Thierry Rogers Cup in Montreal, Clijsters faced Canadian station copyright Fanny Dubois in the second round. Having won the first set 6-1 and trailing 2-3 in the second set, Clijsters slipped and fell on her left wrist and was forced to retire from the match. On August 18, 2006, Clijsters announced on her official website that the condition of her wrist was worse than she had expected and that she would be unable to defend her title at the US Open. She also missed the Fed Cup final against Italy, which Italy won 3-2. Playing in Paris at the Gaz de France Stars tournament, her first event in more than 2 months, Clijsters successfully defended her title by beating qualifier Kakanpi in the final. At the year-end WTA Tour Championships, Clijsters lost a semi-final to Mauresmo, 2-6, 6-3, 3-6, after defeating Dementieva and Kostova and losing to Sharapova in the round-robin phase of the tournament. 2007, retirement. 2007 was to be Clijsters' unregistered trademark final year on tour, as she had planned in 2005 to retire at the end of the 2007 season. Clijsters started the year by winning an exhibition tournament, the Watson Water Challenge, in Hong Kong. On her way to the title, she defeated Zhang Jie, Patti Schneider, and top-ranked Maria Sharapova. Clijsters then won the Medibank International in Sydney, defeating Nicole Pratt, Sharapova, Lina, and Jelena Jankovic to claim the title, after being match point down in the final. At the Australian Open, Clijsters was the 4th seed. The Belgian started by giving a double bagel to Vasilisa Bardina, before going on to defeat Akiko Morigami, Ilona Bondarenko, and Daniela Hantuchova in straight sets. Clijsters then defeated 6th seed Martina Hingis in 3 sets, before losing to Sharapova in the semi-finals. Clijsters next played in Belgium at the Proximus Diamond Games, after pulling out of the Open Gaz de France with a hip injury. While Clijsters said that she was fit, she hinted that she might miss the French Open. Clijsters defeated Olga Pushkova, Ana Ivanovic, and Tatiana Golovin to reach the final without dropping a set, though she lost there to Arma copyright Lai Mauresmo. After this event, Clijsters confirmed that she would miss the French Open and US Open, making Wimbledon her last Grand Slam event. The Belgian also added that her last 2 tournaments would be in Luxembourg and at the WTA Tour Championships in Stuttgart. At the Sony Ericsson Open in Key Biscayne, Florida, Clijsters lost in the 4th round to Lina in 3 sets, after beating Akiko Morigami and Samantha Stosur. A month later in her first clay tournament of the year in Warsaw, Clijsters failed to defend her title, when she lost to Julia Vakulenko 6-7, 3, 3-6. On May 6, 2007, citing injuries, Clijsters announced on her official website that she was cutting short her season and bringing forward her plans to retire from professional tennis. Clijsters decided to retire immediately from the sport. 2009, comeback. Almost 2 years after her retirement and 1 year after the birth of her daughter in February 2008, it was announced that Clijsters, along with Tim Henman, Steffi Graf, and Andre Agassi, would play an exhibition event on Wimbledon Centre Court in May, in order to test the new roof. While preparing for the exhibition at Wimbledon, Clijsters called a press conference on March 26, and then announced that she was returning to professional tennis. She said that she had been inspired when preparing for the Wimbledon roof event during January 2009. Clijsters stated that she had asked for wildcards for the Cincinnati and Toronto tournaments. Additionally, Clijsters had also asked for a wildcard at the US Open, after which she planned to evaluate the comeback in terms of success and the feasibility of combining it with her family life. Clijsters also stated that she preferred to think of it as a second career instead of a comeback, because so many factors were different from her first career. At the Wimbledon exhibition, Clijsters and Henman won 7-6 in a tiebreak against Graf and Agassi. Clijsters also played a singles rubber against Graf, winning 6-4. Clijsters said at the event that she had been practicing for a month and had started to feel good again at the start of February. In July, she won both of her doubles matches with the St. Louis Aces of World Team Tennis. Clijsters started her second career at the Western and Southern Financial Group Women's Open in Cincinnati, following the acceptance of her wild card. She defeated world number 13 Marion Bartoli in the first round, 6-4, 6-3. In her next 2 matches, she defeated world number 20 Patti Schneider, 6-2, 7 euro 5, and world number 6 and reigning French Open champion Svetlana Kstsova, 6 euro 4, 4 euro 6, 6 euro 2. In the quarter-finals, she lost to world number 1 Dinara Safina, 2 euro 6, 5 euro 7. Following Cincinnati, Clijsters played at the Rogers Cup in Toronto on another wildcard. She defeated British qualifier Elena Baltica in the first round. In the second round, she defeated world number 9 Victoria Azarenka, 7 euro 5, 4 euro 6, 6 euro 1, but lost to world number 4 Jelena Jankovic in the third round, 6 euro 1, 3 euro 6, 5 euro 7, after serving for the match at 5 euro 3. She then received a wildcard to play in the main draw of the US Open. She won her first round match over Victoria Kutuzova, 6 euro 1, 6 euro 1. She won her second round match, defeating world number 14 Marion Bartoli for the second time in 3 weeks, 5 euro 7, 6 euro 1, 6 euro 2. She then defeated compatriot Kirsten Flipkens, 6 euro 0, 6 euro 2, in the third round. She went on to upset world number 3 Venus Williams in the fourth round, 6 euro 0, 0 euro 6, 6 euro 4. This was only Clijsters' 11th competitive match since coming out of retirement. Clijsters beat 18th seed Li Na in straight sets, 6 euro 2, 6 euro 4, to reach the semi-finals, where she faced defending champion and world number 2 Serena Williams, winning 6 euro 4, 7 euro 5 after Williams was given a point penalty on match point after a dispute with an official over a foot fault call. Clijsters became the first unseeded finalist at the US Open since Venus Williams in 1997, and the first wildcard to ever reach the US Open final. With her victory over Serena, Clijsters became the only player to have beaten both Williams sisters in the same tournament twice. In the final, she defeated 9th seed Caroline Wozniacki, 7 euro 5, 6 euro 3, to win her second US Open title. Her US Open victory placed her in the top 20 in the world rankings. She also became the first wildcard champion in US Open history and the first mother to win a Grand Slam title in the Open era since Evonne Goolagong won Wimbledon in 1980. Clijsters then received a wildcard to play at the 2009 BGL Luxembourg Open in Luxembourg as the second seed. She eased through her opening match, 6 euro 2, 6 euro 2, against Megan Shaughnessy, but fell to Patty Schneider in a close second-round encounter, 4 euro 6, 6 euro 3, 6 euro 7. Playing an exhibition match in Antwerp, Belgium on December 10, Clijsters defeated Venus Williams 6 euro 1, 7 euro 5. She finished the year ranked number 18. In March 2010, Clijsters won her first Laureus World Sports Award, for her 2009 US Open comeback. She also won the WTA Comeback Player of the Year and the Karen Krantz Sportsmanship Award for the 7th time. 2010, Clijsters started her 2010 campaign at the Brisbane International in Australia as the top seed. She defeated Tatiana Garbin and Alicia Molik in the first 2 rounds, without dropping a set. She then defeated Lucy Angstrom so unregistered trademark over in 3 sets to advance to the semi-finals, where she defeated Andrea Petkovic to set up a final with her compatriot Justine Henin. Clijsters led 6 euro 3, 4 euro 1, before Henin won 8 consecutive games to take the second set and lead 3 euro 0 in the final set. Clijsters trailed 5 euro 3, saved 2 match points before breaking back and forcing a final set tiebreak. During the tiebreak, Clijsters struck a backhand that appeared to land on the line, sealing the championship. She raised her hands in the air in celebration, before the call was overruled by the umpire, who claimed the ball was out. Despite being rattled by the call, Clijsters was unfazed and remained focused, going on to win the match, 6 euro 3, 4 euro 6, 7 euro 6, 6, after Henin double faulted to give her another match point. Clijsters' next tournament was the 2010 Australian Open, the first Grand Slam of the season where she was seeded 15th. Clijsters advanced to the third round with straight sets wins over Vala copyright right R copyright Yult and Tamarine Tanurzagan. In the third round, Clijsters lost to world number 20 Nadia Petrova, winning just one game in the worst defeat of her career. Clijsters did not play competitively again until March at the 2010 BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells. She was seeded 14th, but fell to 23rd seed Elisa Klibanova in the third round, losing a final set tiebreak. Clijsters found form at the 2010 Sony Ericsson Open, as she went on to win the title. As the 14th seed, she only dropped 3 games while defeating Petra Kvitova and Sharapova. Clijsters then defeated the defending champion Victoria Azarenka, losing just 4 games. Next she defeated world number 10 Samantha Stosur in the quarter-finals and Justine Henin in a final set tiebreak to reach the final. Clijsters went on to beat Venus Williams in straight sets in the final, ending the Americans' 15-match unbeaten streak. As a result of winning the title for the second time, Clijsters' ranking rose to world number 10. Playing her first clay tennis match in 3 years at the Andalusia Tennis Experience as the third seed, Clijsters advanced to the second round after beating Alexandra Dalguru in 3 sets. However, in the second round, Clijsters lost to the world number 258 Beatrice Garca Vidagany. Clijsters played in Belgium's Fed Cup tie against Estonia, easily defeating Marit Ainai, 6-4, 6-2, in her opening singles match. However, it was discovered that she had torn a muscle in her left foot, causing her to pull out of her next match against Kana Kampi. Doctors ruled her out for 6 weeks, but Clijsters hoped to make an early recovery. She later announced in a press conference that she would have to withdraw from the rest of the clay court season, including the 2010 French Open. Clijsters returned to action at the start of the grass court season in Eastbourne as part of her Wimbledon warm-up, where she was victorious in 2005. Clijsters, as the 5th seed, defeated compatriot Janina Wickmeyer and Angstrom Afarso unregistered trademark over to reach the quarter-finals, losing just 3 games, before losing in straight sets to Victoria Azarenka. Despite this loss, Clijsters' unregistered trademark ranking rose to world number 8, and she was seeded 8th at her first Wimbledon Championships since 2006. She started well, with a straight sets wins over Maria Elena Cameron, Carolina Angstrom-Prem, and Maria Kirilenko to set up a 4th-round clash with 17th seed Justine Henin. Clijsters came back from a set down to beat Henin, 2-6, 6-2, 6-3. Clijsters lost in the quarter-finals to 21st seed and eventual finalist Vera Zvonova in 3 sets. In between Wimbledon and the U.S. hard-court season, Clijsters participated in the record-breaking Best of Belgium, an exhibition extravaganza. Clijsters defeated Serena Williams in straight sets, improving her head-to-head record since her comeback against the Williams sisters to 5-1. Clijsters played her next event at the 2010 Western and Southern Financial Group Women's Open in Cincinnati, where she had made her comeback the previous year. This was her first event of the 2010 U.S. Open Series. After a first-round bye, Clijsters, as the 4th seed, defeated former world number 1 Dinara Safina, Christina Mikhail, and Flavia Pennetta in straight sets to reach the semi-finals. In the semi-finals, Clijsters was leading 2-1 when her opponent, Ana Ivanovic, had to retire due to a foot injury. In the final, Clijsters faced 10th seed Maria Sharapova and after losing the first set, Clijsters found herself down 3-5 in the second set. She managed to save 3 match points on her own serve, before rain interrupted play. Clijsters came back to take the second set into a tie-break, and despite being down 0-3, she came back to win the tie-break and then claim a 2-6, 7-6, 4, 6-2 victory. This win propelled her ranking to world number 4 with her 38th singles title of her career. Clijsters played her final event of the U.S. Open Series in Montreal at the 2010 Rogers Cup, where she was seeded 5th. After coming back from 4-6, 1-4 down in the opening round to defeat Bethany Matk-Sands, Clijsters reached the quarter-finals, before losing to Vera Zvonova in 3 sets. Clijsters then competed in the 2010 US Open, where she was second seed. Clijsters advanced to the quarter-finals without dropping a set, defeating copyright Ta'an, Sally Piers, Petra Kvitova, and Ana Ivanovic. The Clijsters come from a breakdown in the third set to defeat fifth seed Samantha Stosur, 6-3 in the final set to advance to the semi-finals. In the semi-finals, Clijsters faced Venus Williams, winning the match in the final set to extend her US Open match-winning streak to 20, second only to Chris Evert's 31-match winning streak from 1975-1979 and tying with Venus and Monica Seles. In the final, Clijsters faced 7th seed Vera Zvonareva in a rematch of their Wimbledon quarter-final meeting. Clijsters won, only dropping 3 games, to defend her US Open title, winning it for the third time and her second as a mother. The win also extended her US Open winning streak to 21 matches and was her 27th victory of her last 28 matches at the tournament. The only loss came from compatriot and rival Justine Henin in the 03 final. By winning $2.2 million, she equaled her own 2005 record of the largest payday in women's sports history. Injury then kept Clijsters out until the WTA Championships. At the year-end championship, Clijsters advanced to the final, after defeating Jankovic and Azarenka to qualify for the semi-finals. Clijsters lost her final group game to Zvonareva. In the semi-finals, Clijsters beat Stosur in straight sets, after surviving a car crash. In the championship match, Clijsters faced world number 1 Caroline Wozniacki in a rematch of the 2009 US Open final. Clijsters finished the year at world number 3, after defeating the Dane in 3 sets to clinch her 3rd WTA Championship and 5th title of the year. Clijsters' final match of 2010 was a repeat of what the best of Belgium should have been, a match against Justine Henin. The match took place at the Diamond Games in front of a Belgian crowd. Clijsters came out the winner, winning the match tiebreaker 10-5. For her performance during the season, Clijsters received the WTA Player of the Year award for the second time, the first player ever to win this award in the year following the win of the Comeback Player of the Year, 2011, returned to number 1. On New Year's Day, Clijsters defeated world number 1 Caroline Wozniacki in an exhibition match at the World Tennis Invitation in Thailand. Clijsters was victorious in 3 sets, winning 12-10 in a champion's tiebreaker. Clijsters' first competitive outing of the year was the Medibank International Sydney in Australia. In the first round, Clijsters defeated Alexandra Dalgiru in 2 sets, 6-1, 6-2. She then defeated Barbora Zaleva of Austria 1/2 Victoria Azarenka, and Elisa Klibanova to advance to the final, where she was defeated by world number 11 Li Na, 6-7, 3, 3-6. Despite leading 5-0 in the first set. Clijsters started a strong campaign at the 2011 Australian Open as the tournament favourite with an emphatic 6-0, 6-0 victory over former world number 1 Dinara Safina in the first round. This was the first time in Tennis Open era that a former world number 1 player received a double bagel loss in a Grand Slam tournament. Clijsters then defeated Carla Suarez Navarro, 6-1, 6-3, and Eliza Copyright Cornet, 7-6, 3, 6-3, before winning a 4th-round match against Russia's Ekaterina Makarova, 7-6, 3, 6-2. In the quarter-finals, Clijsters continued her progress without dropping a set by beating the 12th seed Anska Radwanska, 6-3, 7-6, 4. She defeated world number 2 Vera Zvonareva, 6-3, 6-3, guaranteeing her accession to world number 2, her highest ranking since her return to the tour. Clijsters won the 2011 Australian Open singles by beating Li Na, 3-6, 6-3, 6-3. It was her first major win outside the US and her 4th overall. Clearly emotional, Clijsters declared that she finally had earned the title. Aussie Kim Clijsters next travelled to play at the indoor tournament in Paris. After defeating Jelena Dokia in the quarter-finals, Clijsters returned to the top of the WTA rankings for the first time in almost 5 years. overtaking Caroline Wozniacki. Clijsters eventually progressed to the final of the competition, but was beaten by third seed Petra Kvitova in straight sets, 4-6, 3-6. Up next for Clijsters was the Indian Wells Masters in California, where she was seeded second. After receiving a bye in the first round, she faced Alla Kudryavtseva of Russia and defeated her, 6-2, 6-0. In the third round, she beat the Italian Sara Errani in 3 sets, 6-3, 2-6, 6-4. Clijsters had to retire in her next match against Marion Bartoli at 6-3, 1-3 with a shoulder injury. Clijsters was the defending champion in Miami and the second seed. After defeating Anastasia Yakimova, 6-1, 6-2, and Mara Adjoza copyright Marta Nezar Nchez, 6-4, 4-6, 6-3, in the second and third round, respectively, she came back from 1-5-0, 1-40 in the final set against Ana Ivanovic in the fourth round, winning the match, 7-6, 4, 3-6, 7-6, 5. She eventually lost in the quarter-finals to Victoria Azarenka in straight sets, 3-6, 3-6. On April 21, 2011, Clijsters was elected number 16 on the Time Top 100 list of most influential people, the first sports person on the 2011 listing. Clijsters suffered an ankle injury while dancing at a wedding and missed most of the clay court season before the 2011 French Open. Clijsters was the second seed in the Roland Garros draw. She was defeated by Arantxa Rus in the second round, 6-3, 5-7, 1-6, after leading 6-3, 5-2 and having 2 match points. Clijsters suffered a further ankle injury in the UNICEF Open, which forced her to withdraw from Wimbledon. Clijsters returned to the tour at the 2011 Rogers Cup. She received a bye into the second round, where she played qualifier Zhang Jia. She won the first set 6-3, but retired 3 games into the second due to an abdominal injury. The injury caused her to pull out of the 2011 Western and Southern Open, and then the 2011 US Open, where she was the 2-time defending champion. She announced on her blog that she was dropping the rest of the season to fully recover in order to get ready for 2012, the year of the Olympic Games, and that she may come back in December 2011 in Antwerp for the Diamond Games. After a 4-month layoff, Clijsters returned successfully to the court, beating top-ranked Caroline Wozniacki 6-2, 7-6 at the Diamond Games exhibition. 2012, final year. Clijsters began her 2012 season at the Brisbane International. She defeated Simona Halep in the first round, followed by a 6-1, 1-6, 6-3 defeat of Ana Ivanovic in the second round. She comfortably won her quarter-final match against Evita Beniova, 6-3, 6-2. Clijsters met Daniela Hantucheva in her semi-final match. Leading 7-6, 1-2, Clijsters received a medical timeout for a hip spasm. She played only 1 game afterward, retiring to hand the match to Hantucheva, 6-7, 3-1. Clijsters entered the 2012 Australian Open, the last appearance in the event before her expected retirement. As 11th seed, Clijsters defeated Maria Jo Pound-Ocalea and star copyright Fanny Foretz-Gaken in the first round and second round, respectively. In the third round, she defeated Daniela Hantucheva, 6-3, 6-2, in a rematch of their semi-final encounter at the Brisbane International only a fortnight earlier. Clijsters played Li Nan in the fourth round, whom she defeated to win the title in 2011. At 3-3 in the first set, Clijsters rolled her ankle and required a medical timeout. Despite being severely hindered in her movement, Clijsters played on, but quickly lost the first set 4-6. She recovered from a breakdown in the second set to force a tiebreak. Down 4 match points at 2-6 in the second set tiebreak, she reeled off 6 consecutive points to take the second set tiebreak, 8-6. She took a 5-1 lead in the final set, but Lee recovered, bringing the match to 5-4. However, Clijsters rallied, serving out the match, 4-6, 7-6, 6-4. Clijsters then defeated top seed Caroline Wozniacki, 6-3, 7-6, seemingly unhampered by the ankle sprain she sustained in the previous round. She lost in the semi-finals to third seed and eventual winner Victoria Azarenka, 4-6, 6-1, 3-6. Clijsters' ranking dropped to number 30 after failing to defend her points from winning the title in 2011. Clijsters withdrew from the BNP Paribas Open after exacerbating the ankle injury she sustained at the Australian Open. Clijsters' next tournament was at the 2012 Sony Ericsson Open in Miami. She lost to fellow Belgian Janina Wickmeyer in the third round, 4-6, 6-7. Following the match, Clijsters announced that she was suffering from a hip injury and would not compete for at least 4 weeks. At the time, she hoped that she would be back for the Madrid Open, starting in May. However, on April 17, 2012, Clijsters announced that she will skip the clay court season, including the French Open, because her injury had not sufficiently healed. In Herzogenbosch, Clijsters defeated Romana Oprandi, Katarina Bondarenko and Francesca Iavone. She then withdrew from the tournament prior to her semi-final match against Ursula Radwanska due to an abdominal injury. Entering Wimbledon as the world number 53 and unseeded in the tournament for the first time since 2000, Clijsters defeated Jelena Jankovic and Andrea Lava Infinite-Korver in the first and second rounds respectively, and defeated Vera Zvonova in the third round, advancing to the second week of the tournament. Clijsters was defeated by Angelique Kerber in the fourth round, ending her final Wimbledon campaign. At the 2012 Summer Olympics, Clijsters defeated Roberta Vinci and Carla Suarez Navarro in the first and second rounds respectively. She then played Ana Ivanovic in the third round, winning 6-3, 6-4 and advanced to the quarter-finals where she lost 2-6, 5-7 against Maria Sharapova. Clijsters' final tournament was the US Open, where she previously won 3 titles. In singles, she defeated Victoria Duval, 6-3, 6-1, in the first round, but lost in the second round against Laura Robson, 6-7, 6-7. She played doubles with compatriot Kirsten Flipkens, but lost in the first round to Chuang Kai-Yung and Zhang Xiai. She played mixed doubles with Bob Bryan, but lost in the second round to Ekaterina Makarova and Bruno Soares. Clijsters officially retired on September 2, 2012. Post-retirement, Clijsters competed at the Diamond Games in December 2012, dubbed the Kim's Thank You Games, as a ceremonial farewell in her native Belgium. She defeated Venus Williams in a singles exhibition match, 6-3, 6-3. Later on she and Alma copyright Lai Mauresmo lost to Venus Williams and Kirsten Flipkens in doubles. A full house of over 13,000 of Clijsters fans turned up to the Antwerp Sports Palace for the contest. In December 2013 at the Kim Clijsters Invitational at the Antwerp Sports Palace in Belgium, former and current tennis stars took part in some singles and mixed doubles exhibition matches. Kim and Xavier Malisse were victorious over Kirsten Flipkens and Henri Leconte, 7-5, 6-2, in mixed doubles. Clijsters competed in the Women's Legends doubles event at the 2014 French Open in June 2014 alongside Martina Navratilova as her partner. In the group stage they defeated Iva Majalai and Anastasia Miskina, and then Conquita Martinez and Nathalie Tarziet. Clijsters and Navratilova advanced to the final as winners of Group B. They won the doubles event defeating Nathalie Decci and Sandra Indstad, 5-7, 7-5, 10-7, in the final. Kim will participate at the 2014 Optima Open, a tournament on the ATP Champions Tour alongside John McEnroe, Monica Seles and others in August. She will take part in a special mixed doubles exhibition match. Rivalries: Clijsters vs Henin. Clijsters and Justine Henin met 25 times over a period of 12 years. Their series ended 13-12 in Clijsters' favour. Clijsters vs Zvonova. Clijsters and Zvonova first played each other in 2002. Clijsters leads the head-to-head matchup 8-3. Prior to her first retirement in 2007, Clijsters won all 5 of her matches with Zvonova. The women met again during the 2010 season, when Zvonova won 3 of their 4 matches, the exception being the US Open final. Zvonova's first victory against Clijsters came at the 2010 Wimbledon Championships. Their only match of 2011 was won by Clijsters at the Australian Open. Clijsters also won their only match of 2012 at the Wimbledon Championships after Zvonova retired due to breathing problems. Clijsters vs Mauresmo. Clijsters and Alma copyright line Mauresmo met 15 times over 8 years. Their series ended 8-7 in Clijsters' favour. Prior to the 2005 WTA Tour Championships, Clijsters lead the series 8-2. Mauresmo won their final 5 matches from 2005 to 2007, including the final of the Proximus Diamond Games in 2006 and 2007. Clijsters vs Venus Williams. Clijsters and Venus Williams have met 13 times since 2001. Clijsters led the series 7-6. Clijsters last lost to Williams in the 2005 Proximus Diamond Games, when the matches were 6-2 in Williams' favour. She went on to defeat Williams 5 consecutive times, including 3 times at the US Open. They last played professionally in the semi-finals of the 2010 US Open, with Clijsters winning in 3 sets. Clijsters vs Serena Williams. Clijsters and Serena Williams have met a total of 9 times since 1999. Williams led their series 7-2, with Clijsters winning their last encounter at the 2009 US Open, their only match since the Belgians' comeback in 2009. Clijsters vs Sharapova. Clijsters and Maria Sharapova have met a total of 9 times since 2003. Clijsters leads the series 5-4. Clijsters won their first 4 meetings. Sharapova then won 4 of their last 5 meetings. Coaches: 1992-1996, Bart van Kerkhoven, 1996-2002, Chalmers, 2002-2005, Mark Diaz, 2009-2011, Wim Fissette, 2011, Wim Fissette and Chalmers, present, Chalmers, records, 2001. Clijsters became the first person from Belgium to reach a Grand Slam singles final in the Open era. 2003, Clijsters became not only the first Belgian man or woman to be ranked world number 1, but also did so without winning a Grand Slam tournament. Clijsters is one of only 6 women to have been ranked world number 1 in singles and doubles simultaneously. Clijsters compiled a 90-12 singles record. Her singles win total was the highest singles season total by any woman since Navratilova in 1982. Clijsters was the first woman to play more than 100 singles matches in a year since Chris Evert in 1974. 2005, following Clijsters' victory in the US Open Series and the subsequent US Open, she collected $2.2 million in prize money, the largest single purse ever won by a female athlete until it was overtaken by Serena Williams when she was awarded a winner's sum of $3.6 million for winning both 2013 US Open Series and the championship. To that date, Clijsters held a North American hardcourt win-loss record of 36-1. Clijsters had a 22-match winning streak from August to October. During the streak, she won tournaments in Los Angeles, Toronto and Luxembourg, and the US Open. First player ever to win the WTA Player of the Year award in the same year of winning the WTA Comeback Player of the Year trophy, 2006, in returning to the world number 1 ranking after the Australian Open in January, Clijsters broke a rankings record. She was ranked as low as world number 134 in March 2005, so her return to the top spot in a 10-month span was the fastest and biggest leap in women's tennis history. 2009, third unseeded and first unranked female champion of a Grand Slam title by winning the 2009 US Open. Clijsters also became the first mother to win a major since Evonne Goolagong won the Wimbledon title in 1980, and the first mother to win the US Open since Margaret Court in 1973. She defeated Danish Caroline Wozniacki 7-5, 6-3 in the US Open final. Returned to WTA rankings at number 19, equaling the highest debut ever that was set by Andrea Jaeger in 1980. Won the WTA Comeback Player of the Year trophy despite only playing 3 months effectively. 2010, first woman to retain the US Open title since Venus Williams in 2001. Second woman in the Open era to win 3 successive US Opens in which she played. Chris Evert won 4 US Open Championships in a row and 2 additional titles in 1980 and 1982 for a total of 6 US Opens. Martina Navratilova reached the final after 2 successive wins in 1985, but lost the third final to Hana Mandlikova. Steffi Graf reached the finals after 2 consecutive wins in 1990, but lost the third final to Gabriela Sabatini. 21 consecutive US Open match victories, second all-time to Chris Evert's 31 from 1975 to 1979. Third woman to win 2 Grand Slams as a mother, 1 shy of the record by Margaret Court. Repeated her own 2005 feat of earning a women's sport record paycheck of approximately $2.2 a million by winning the US Open, after ending the US Open Series as second after Caroline Wozniacki. Won the Masters for the third time, joining a very select group of players, consisting of Martina Navratilova, Monica Seles, Chris Evert and Steffi Graf. Broke the $20 a million mark in career prize money at the same Masters. Became WTA year prize money leader with more than $5 a million in earnings, first player ever to win the WTA Player of the Year award in the year following the win of the WTA Comeback Player of the Year trophy. Both Serena Williams and Alma Copyright Mauresmo became Player of the Year after having been the Comeback Player of the Year, but they did not achieve this feat in consecutive years. Became most-time winner of the Karen Krantz WTA Award for Fair Play, 2011, inflicted the first-time ever double bagel loss at a Grand Slam since the start of the Open era on a former world number 1 player Dinara Safina during the first round of the Australian Open. By becoming Australian Open champion, completed a consecutive winning string of the 4 most important hardcourt tournaments within a year, Miami Masters 2010, US Open 2010, WTA Tour Championships 2010 and the Australian Open 2011. Steffi Graf and Monica Seles in 1991 had accomplished this series before. Equaling the record of Margaret Court of winning 3 Grand Slams as a mother, received for the third time a women's sport record paycheck of approximately $2.2 a million by winning the Australian Open, became number 1 in the WTA rankings for the 4th time in her career on February 14, 2011 after the 2011 Open GDF Suez in Paris, nearly 5 years after being at the number 1 spot in early 2006. It is also the first time ʻklɛistərs is number 1 in the same calendar year of winning a Grand Slam. Became the first mother to hold the number 1 rankings since the inception of the computer rankings in 1975. Ranked 16 on the Time Top 100 list of most influential people, the first sports person on the 2011 listing. Awards. Career statistics. Performance timeline: Singles Finals, 8, Doubles Finals, 3, Mixed Doubles Finals, 1, see also. List of female tennis players, List of Grand Slam Women's Singles Champions, References. External links, Official website, Kim ʻklɛistərs' channel on YouTube, Kim ʻklɛistərs at the Women's Tennis Association, Kim ʻklɛistərs at the International Tennis Federation, Kim ʻklɛistərs at the International Tennis Federation Junior Profile, Kim ʻklɛistərs at the Fed Cup, Kim ʻklɛistərs at the Internet Movie Database.